Well, I was getting ready to go to bed, and I had went through some of my past pictures, like photo frame, whatever you want to call it. Ugh. Well, let me just say this. First of all, I had hair down to like my butt for a century. And could I do this without this? And in November, I had gotten this rat that I couldn't get out, that I literally was wearing these little, they hold your hair back like headbands, but they're more. Anyway, looked like I had dreads, what I'd love to have. And needless, I just had my scissors and whacked it and got this. And I ended up growing, and my gray's out, and I kind of like it. Getting there. Anyway, my head hurts. When I noticed in some of my teeth, bottom. And I'm like, boy, in this day and age, you can't have no kind of flaws. You can't go talking to people. They're going to go, oh my God. Oh my God. And you have no idea that I feel most human beings are more hard on themselves than anybody can ever be. And I see a lot that will do videos and be just completely raw about things, relationships, and family. And, I haven't quite understood the makeup thing. First of all, I am 61 years old. Raised my 3 children. They're grown off. They're 41, 35, Lord, and 33 in that respectively. 8 grandchildren. I'm retired due to not by choice. Disabled. Long story. Depression. Fourth generation. Ooh, that lighting's better. But see, it shows my cobwebs. So I took some pictures down because I have been a recluse for 5 years. And recently have been popping out of my depression. It is, I don't even know how to word it other than just to say it. You hear a lot today about mental illness and people identifying it, and bipolar and manic and all these knowable names, but I don't know how relatable when people do talk about those things. So for me, I saw it all my life. It has came at me in different parts and different times in my life. I was able to work full time, had a career, but the one thing that was always there is that cloud that kind of follows you around. It's not like a choice. It's not like something that, that just raise yourself up. Just do that thing. It's like I've put weight back on recently. And I'm okay with that because I can gain and drop 20, 25 pounds. It's always been my thing. There are some things, if I choose to, if I don't. And I wouldn't say it's so much vanity. Is it vanity? I don't know. Because I don't care what you think. I have never lived my life to worry about what other people think of me or say about me. I just don't. I don't live, or nor have I ever lived my life in a way that says, oh my God, What are they going to do? What are they going to say? And when I say they, it could be family. It could be jobs. It could be a complete stranger. I've never had a mindset that led me into care. You know, I'm stumbling through words right now because it's about 2:30 in the morning. I've had insomnia all my life. So I took up poker playing for years and years ago because I adapted to my depression. I adapted my lifestyle to just how to live life in my terms. Now, this might not work for anybody else. I do writing at night. I just started doing this. And this is more for posterity, for my family. Because I am a matriarch. I'm at the top of the totem pole. My family has... I came from a very small family to boot. My mother died very young. I grew up that quick. It just is what it is. Isn't that the cliche term today? And what I find is I have some jealousy. I have some jealousy for YouTubers. The newer, no, older. The original ones. The ones that because being a recluse, there's not a whole lot you can do if I write and eat and get on people's fucking nerves, that kind of thing. Oh, that's a bad word, right? For me, when I watch some of the originals, that, I mean, the money. What do you do with $10,000 a week? What do you do with that? I've lived in poverty. I mean, I even got a letter in the mail from Social Security that says you're in 137% poverty in the nation. And I burst out laughing. I go, what the hell is 137% poverty? That's pretty damn bad in their mind. Because, see, I own my home that I'm still paying for, but I worked hard for. Worked real hard for. Like, car breaking down every 5 minutes. 3 buses. So I guess when I say about those who say they're influencers, you influence people to do what? Buy whatever it is you're in your haul? Or you say, okay, see my little $10 a month to keep from having ads, and now y'all want to start advertising? Or it's just like, wait a minute, I do have to talk about this sponsor now. Really? And I get it. I get entrepreneurish, right? That's how I think. I think you don't want to have to work for the man or whatever the concept is. I get it. What I don't get is, don't tell me it's hard work in that aspect. You can't tell someone, this baby boomer, by the way, who came from, most baby boomers come from a background that their parents, you had one job, you worked at it for 50 years, and then they retired and had a package. That's pretty much it. Well, that shit fell out in the 70s. Good old Reaganomics, right? Well, see, there was an up and a down to that concept. See, what I had to do was be in line twice a week to get gas in 1978. Didn't tell you all that. General Motors shut down. Detroit, poor Detroit, Motor City, gone. Psh, Frigidaire. And I saw men and women who worked 40 to 45 years of their life and didn't get squat. That bottomed out and didn't get those packages they worked so hard for. That by 1980, people were going from the north to the south in such a hurry. And it happens like every 50, 60 years. if you know your history of this nation. I see, I think that's my thing is, my name is America Marie. That's no joke. That is no joke. That is my great-great-grandmother's name. My great aunt was Liberty. I had been married on the 4th of July. You can't get more red, white, and blue blood. I've never voted a straight ticket in my life. Today, don't get me talking about politics, because there isn't such a thing. They're all stupid. Stupid. I'm rambling. Yeah, I'm rambling because I'm not liking this world. I never liked it a whole lot to begin with. People, barely. Animals, they give us love with no cause. But say, for instance, about the birth certificate for Barack Obama, and everybody was going up in arms. Where's he from? Where's the... How many of you have ever got a job where you had to get an ID that you didn't have a birth certificate? Now, let's just say, is or isn't. The man went through college. He's held office before. Do you know that being the President of the United States is the one job that you don't have to have any experience? That there is no kind of like, yeah, I've done this, and yeah, I've done... No. Did you know the majority all have a law background? And does anybody ever tell you about lawyers? And I became cynical. I became cynical of this country because I watched it slow. I didn't get this way because of the current elements going on. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Come on. That's a no-brainer. A reality show person? Really? I'm embarrassed. It's not about all the other gobbledygook that goes with it. It just has to do with what I grew up, I should say what my values are, is you had a sense of pride. That this was a high honor. And that you held that high. You couldn't even be divorced. John F. Kennedy barely got in being Catholic. All these sound racist to you? Fuck you. It's not racist. It's the fact of what's going on in the climate of this country. This is. It's no different than seeing a female. Won't happen in my lifetime. And if it does, I mean, I don't see it. I just don't see it. You know, they call it feminazis, and I see all these terms that are used. And it was the boomer, the women of my era, that burned the bras. That, you know, the first time I applied for a job when I was my first marriage was 19. And it wasn't the first time I applied for a job. I'd worked earlier, but it was different. I put down domestic engineer because I thought that sounded better than saying housewife. And I hated it. Hated it. Hated putting down my ethnicity. Hated putting down anything about anything. And today, all these labels, you're labeled more today than ever. You got labels for everything. You're so worried about what you're called, what you look like, who's going to see, who's not going to see. Who gives a rat's ass? Who cares? You want to change the world, and they're thinking, hasn't happened yet. Now, I told you before in a video that I have a tendency to be cynical. Bad. I don't see the goodness in humans. I see it every so often. You'll see like a little dark clouds and you see a light come through and I'll go, oh, there's one. Oh. I get excited driving and somebody goes, oh no, you go ahead. I go, oh, no, you go ahead. Is that stupid? Probably. I think too much sometimes. That's part of the racy mind. This hair looks cute tonight. And I didn't even do this on purpose. I think it's cute. Now, any rich person out there feels like the need. They just want to get rid of a couple thousand or million or a couple hundred to help me with my bottom teeth, because I swear to God, my one regret in life. My one regret in life. And I got the one. Not taking better care. So with that,